so it's gonna wait until we have some more viewers to start the free live video of and that will be January 2025. So I'm gonna wait a little. So welcome everybody. Welcome to 2025. I would say there is so much to talk about on 2025, and there is so many things that look like are going to change. And whatever you guys wanna comment, and this is going to be the introduction to 2025, and I have a couple things to talk about. But first, can you tell me if my audio sounds fine? Can you tell me if I am speaking loud enough, if you can hear me well enough? Can you tell me that, so that way we can start with this live video? I would like to know that so I can continue. So just comment there, comment and let me know, then you can hear me, so we can start talking about January 2025. So I'm waiting. So please let me know if you can hear me. Okay, Manuel Alvarez says, sounds good, Francisco. All right, that's good. Thank you for the confirmation. That's all I wanted to start this video. Well, welcome to 2025. And you guys are already aware there is so many things that are already happening. To 25 days, and it is a big change for 2025. There is so many things to talk about, especially on the trucking industry, and so many things to talk about in general, but we are just going to focus on the trucking industry in this channel. If you guys want to comment anything about anything in general, you are more than welcome to say it. But myself, I'm going to focus on trucks and stuff. So, 2024 was a year that was a little controversial, I would say, especially for emission related problems. California decided to start doing emission testing for trucks, but they did one thing, and that is that they stopped finding people for the emission testing. In the past, it used to be like beginning of 2024, ending 2023. It was like you will get a $5,000 fine because your truck was not in compliance, and if you don't do the emission testing, you will get a fine. It was kind of stupid at some point. That was something in California, kind of like stupid at some. I mean, I don't know, stupid. I don't know what else to say. But they changed it. They changed it a little, and now they have the new way. Then it's like the emission testing goes directly to the DMV, which that's more a little better, I would say. So your testing will be redirected directly to the DMV, and if you don't have a test, then it's on compliance or within a specific amount of time, you will be, voy a hacerlo en español, okay, vamos a hablar de español. You will be, you won't have ability to get your registration. So, para el español, que me está hablando en español, ¿verdad? Sí, estaba hablando acerca de lo que es las emisiones de California, que era algo estúpido que tenían, de que hacían una multa de $5,000 porque su camión no tenía las emisiones correctamente por alguna razón. Pero ya ahora, eso pasó en el 23, 24, ahora el 25 ya las emisiones van directamente al DMV. El DMV se encarga ahora de mantener un récord de las emisiones, y si su camión no tiene emisiones vigentes, no le van a dar la registración. Así de simple. Lo cual es un poco más básico que tener una multa de $5,000 inmediatamente, ¿verdad? Es un poco más estúpido. Y eso es lo que estamos ahora, que ahora ya tenemos una renovación en lo que es el sistema. Pero voy a transferir en inglés ahora. There is one thing that I heard. I don't know if you guys know about it, and that's specifically for emissions. I heard, I read, and I saw, right? I saw a YouTube video talking about emissions in California. I read a specific article talking about emissions in California, and I heard people talking about it. And that is, then California wants to remove the truck emission testing. I'm not sure if that's true. I have the license to do emission testing, and I do emission testing too. So I'm not sure if that is true or not. I haven't received any type of notification. I haven't received any type of message or a memo saying that the emissions in California are going to be completely removed, completely turned off, right? So not sure about it. If that happens, for a lot of people, it's going to be good. For a lot of people, it's going to be bad. And the reason why I say it like that is because for a lot of people, it's going to be good because a lot of people don't have to worry about emissions anymore, right? No more emissions. But for a lot of people, it's going to be bad, especially for the people that works on that area. My field, right? I work on emissions too, but I do other things too. I don't only do emissions as my main job. I do in general, and I don't need to do emission repairs to maintain my shop busy. I have so many things to do besides emission repairs. And most of the time, I have 50 emission, 50 repairs. But if you don't do emissions, you're gonna do repairs, regular repairs. But for the other side, the people that are doing only emission repairs are going to be kind of pissed off because they need to do some other type of repairs. Or the people themselves, the devices, people themselves, all the components, emission components. So, en español lo voy a decir ahorita. Estaba hablando en inglés lo que era de que California quiere remover la ley de hacer emisiones, pruebas de emisiones a los camiones. No sé si será cierto, lo he escuchado, lo he visto, lo he leído en diferentes artículos, pero yo no puedo dar ninguna certeza de que eso es algo cierto, dado de que la información en Internet puede ser información completamente manipulada por diferentes personas. Yo no tengo ninguna certeza de que esa información es correcta, y aparte de eso yo tengo el certificado para hacer emisiones. Yo puedo hacer emisiones aquí en California en los camiones, pero yo, siendo un técnico certificado para eso, no he recibido ninguna clase de información referente a ese punto de que las emisiones se van a retirar completamente de los camiones. No he recibido nada. Por el momento todo sigue normal. Entonces, esperemos que todo sea que sea para bien o que sea para mal. No puedo decir que puede ser lo mejor, pero si se quitan, bueno, qué bueno. Y si no se quitan, bueno, también, pues tenemos que ver qué podemos hacer para seguir adelante. De cualquier manera, tenemos que seguir trabajando. Now I'm going to speak in English. So I'm going to try to comply with both languages at the same time. It's pretty hard to do it, I would say it. But, I have people who speak Spanish, I have people who speak English, and I don't want to leave them behind. I want to keep up with both of them, with both of the people, So if you have any questions in English, you're more than welcome to ask me. So I have a question right here. It says from Chandler. I'm sorry if I pronounce the name incorrectly. 2018 Cascadia Smog on startup bad fuel mileage, no power, new fuel injectors, and harness and cups. If it smokes a lot, it's no power. It's possible, yeah, it's overfueling. The system is overfueling. If you didn't have that problem before, maybe the injectors are leaking. Or maybe sometimes happens then whenever you sit the injectors on the cup, they're not sealing properly, and they start to leak a little fuel inside. Um, and there is no way to know the specific problem in that case from here, right? I don't specifically know what's the problem. I need to have the truck here to investigate a little more. But based on what you're saying, everything gotta be around the fuel system. So if your system is completely non-deleted, you're gonna have no problems with DEF or anything. But if your system is deleted, you may have problems with some other sources. Maybe doser injector is leaking fuel at the same time. But it depends, right? But if it's just like, let's say you have no DEF problems. I mean, like you deleted the system completely and you don't have no leaks at all from the doser, and you just replace injectors and you start smoking all of a sudden, might be the injectors that are bad, especially high pressure injectors that leak. They tend to go bad. So, but as I say, I mean, like if you had the problem before, and now you put new injectors and you have the same problem, maybe something else. But if you didn't have the problem, and now you're getting that problem, maybe the injectors could be bad. So it is to see. I mean, like, and also you need to do some kind of like investigation on your own. But it's kind of hard when it comes to problems like that. I don't know if I explained that correctly. So if you have further questions, just comment below and I'll get to you. So Derek Brown is deleting the DD15 a good idea? I keep hitting another channel, then causes more internal issues on the long run. Well, I mean, if you delete the DD15, DD13, yeah, I mean, you might have problems. I won't deny it. You might have problems, but it's not like as soon as you delete your truck, it's gonna blow up, right? All of a sudden, your truck is gonna be destroyed. It's not like that. The situation then a lot of people need to understand is then these DD15s, DD13s, Cummins X15s, Packard, Volvos, these engines are designed to work with back pressure, which means then the filter, the DPF, the DOC, the SCR, they created some kind of back pressure. So the engine has to produce a specific amount of horsepower to push that air, that flow, that gases. So when you remove that back pressure, the engine works a little more freely. So which means there is no restriction. So that specific amount of horsepower goes, as increased. But these engines are limited to that specific number. So when you increase the horsepower, of course, you're gonna damage more components. But the increase of that horsepower is not gonna be like from 500 all the way to 700, right? You're gonna destroy the engine immediately. But it's going to be like 15 horsepower more, maybe 10 horsepower more, something very small. It's gonna cause damage to the engine, yes, but on the long run, maybe 200, 300, maybe 1 million miles. I have seen deleted engines with 1 million miles, and I have seen deleted engines with 200,000 miles, so they are broken. So there is no specific number that you can base on when it comes to engine damage. And even though then the engine is completely untouched when it comes to the DEF system, it still may present damage. So it just depends where it's going to be damaged. But don't worry, I mean, it's not like if you delete it, it's gonna destroy your engine immediately. But also one thing I will tell you, when you do that, a tune, we can call it, you have the person that is doing it have to be sure to do the right one, because if you don't do the right one, you are going to get fault codes related to airflow, to fuel, or to EGR issues, because you have too much pressure. So the compensation, because the ACM and the MCM, they work together. So the MCM is the engine computer, the ACM is the after treatment computer. So the after treatment computer has a fuel map, and the MCM has a fuel map as well. So the fuel map on the ACM is going to give the engine a specific amount of fuel when this engine is working on regen mode, and the MCM is going to have a protocol on how to work when it is not in regen mode. So it's going to have a different way to work. So if you program your ACM with a different protocol, you might get more fuel or less fuel in your engine, and that will cause fault codes, because the engine still works normal. So the engine works as it is, but the ACM is not working as it was. So it is completely asleep, we can say. So that is something that you have to be careful about. And yes, if you do a bad tuning, it might destroy your engine. Yes, that could be the possible. That could be a possibility. But if the tuning is right, the engine is going to work fine. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but if you have further questions, you can just comment below and let me know what you think about what I just explained to you. Okay, let's see. Pop Tart, One Trucking. Hey, yeah. Hey, how you doing? I mean, 2025, we're here, and we're still trucking business. So there is so many things still to work on. 2025 trucks are even worse than they were before and more expensive. So that's something that we want to find out soon. I already saw a couple 2025 trucks that are really bad when it comes to as a new technology. But you remember that always something new is really hard to repair. When it gets older, it's easier. So because more information, more channels like me provide information to repair, so it makes it way easier to get it done. I mean, to do the repair. So, Derek Brown says, "What is good truck for a owner operator?" That is a good question, right? What is the best truck you can buy? That would be a good question, and it depends, right? I would say everything depends on what you want. Stay away from Packers, right? I would say Packers are okay, but they're not the more friendly, especially when it comes to breakdowns on the road. If the truck is broken on the road, it's gonna be very hard to get repaired. And also the cost of the parts are a little more expensive, and most likely you're gonna get to the trouble. Then once in a while you're gonna get a part, a component, then they don't have it. Then you have to wait. You have to order it. So Packard has that problem because Packard is not a local company; it's an overseas company, which is DAF. So it takes a different care. It's not the same. So it's not the same as Detroit, Cummins. They're still overseas, but they're locals in the area. I would say then if you want KWs and Peterbilts, that's the top dog you can get. They're expensive to repair, yes. Don't get a W900. They're way too expensive. If you want the sweet spot, if you want a nice truck at a sweet spot, that would be a Freightliner Coronado. The Freightliner Coronado is the best truck you can buy. Not because it's the best truck. It is because it's the one that has the less amount of electronic components. So the Freightliner Coronado doesn't have a sun cabin, a sun chassis. It doesn't have a steering angle sensor. It doesn't have a motor switch field. It doesn't have what do you call it? AC control unit. It doesn't have electronic modules. The Freightliner Coronado only has the MCM, CPC, ACM, the TCM if you have an automatic transmission, the traction control unit, ABS, and the stability control unit. Those are the computers you have, the basic computers that any car will have nowadays. The extra computers that any Cascadia has probably are going to be like 10 computers more, right? So in this one, you have around like 5-6 computers. So the sweet spot when it comes to trucks always is going to be the Freightliner Coronado. And I will tell you then the Freightliner Coronado is going to be, the best truck you can buy. I have a guy, at least a guy, then bought a Freightliner Coronado and he's very happy with it. No problems at all. No problems at all. No electronic problems because everything is wired. So there is a wire from point A to point B. There is no electronic modules between that. So there is a switch to turn on the lights. And that switch is going to go to a relay. And from that relay is going to go to the actual light bulb. So that will save you so much trouble. And that's why I think then a lot of people doesn't see the point of the Freightliner Coronado. The Coronado is the best truck you can buy so far. But it's expensive. 120, 150, depending on the mileage, depending the condition. It's very expensive, I would say. But if you get it, it's going to be good. And then, I mean, I would say then Volvo is good, expensive though, but it's good. Then you have what they call it, Freightliner Cascadias, right? Freightliner Cascadias are going to be good too. But electronic models are popping everywhere. So, in my opinion, if you want something nice, KW, W900, if you have the money to, perfect. But it's too expensive. 680, Peterbilt, 579. They're very good trucks. With Cummins engine, that's a good combination. Manual transmission is way better. If you have any truck with manual transmission, avoid automatic transmissions if you want a truck that lasts 1 million miles. And if you want something cheaper, go to Freightliner, Cascadia or Coronado. Coronado will be the most reliable. Cascadia will be the most common. Coronado is harder to get parts. I will be honest. Sometimes for the chassis, for the chassis components and for the cabin components, it's harder to get parts because it's a truck thing. It's not that common. And when it comes to the Cascadia, well, it's the common one. You can get parts anywhere. So, which means it's cheaper. So, you get options. So between Peterbilt, Kangor, Freightliner, and Volvo are the best. But between those four, Freightliner and Kangor and Volvo, and Peterbilt are the most reliable and the most easy to repair. So I don't know if I explained that correctly. So just mention that later if you need more explanation. I think I over-explained it already. Says Gary Bites. What causes all consumption besides liners, escort liners? Well, if you have a DD15, Cummins, Volvo, any engine, even a small car, even a gasoline car, a 4-cylinder gasoline car, if you're getting excessive oil consumption, most of the time when you get excessive oil consumption, you don't have crankcase back pressure. You don't have pressure on the crankcase. And the reason why is that is because the cylinder piston ring is the one that is letting the oil slip out. Just a tiny bit. But remember, the engine works 800, 900, 1000, 2000 RPMs per minute, which means then that engine is going up and down faster than you think. And that is going to consume at least a drop of oil every time it goes up and down. So in a long run, that's going to be a gallon. Or depending on how big the engine is, maybe a quart of oil. But if you're talking about DD15s, Cummins, Volvo, a gallon of oil, 500 miles, 1,000 miles. So most likely when you have oil consumption, engine will be bad. Of course, if you have external oil leak, turbocharger is one of the main reasons why oil consumption happens. But that is visible. You can remove the tailpipe, the exhaust pipe of the turbocharger, and you're gonna see the oil, the visible oil. Or the intake, you're gonna see the intake of the turbo, and you're gonna see it all wet. But that is something that can be easily determined. But if there is no leaks in both areas of the turbo, your engine must be eating the oil. And the only way to repair it is by doing a whole overhaul. Okay, it says, okay, D15, well, I just explained that. So. NJB, are you using JPro? Yes, I use JPro. JPro is a good software. I would say then it limits you, but it gives you ability to do a lot of stuff. Volvo, mostly Volvo Packard. Packard is very limited on what you can do with JPro on Packard. But Volvo is good. Volvo, you can program turbos, you can calibrate turbos, you can do regions, you can do SCR testing, you can do other tests that are a major testing for Volvos. and that's good. I mean, it is a good application to have. Um, if you have many trucks, many different trucks, I think it's good to have JPro. But if you only have one type of truck, if you are only Volvos, I think you better buy the software, the OEM software, the Volvo software. I think it's gonna be the best, and you're gonna be spending almost the same amount of money at the end of the day. JPro is just good if you have a diversity of trucks. I do have many trucks, and that helps me a lot to work with many different trucks. And sometimes I don't have the specific softwares, or we can say Volvo, Packard, and I can use JPro for that. So it works. Um, if you are willing to pay the price, I think the original software is the best. Of course, the knockoff copy is going to be the one everybody gets. Sometimes it's gonna limit you on the things you wanna do, but if you just wanna read full code, sometimes it's the best. So you have to decide what will be the best on that. Um, return liners. What do you mean with return liners, Gary Bates? Oh no, return line. We talk about the return line, the turbo return line, right? That's what you're saying. Yeah, I mean the turbo return line, yeah, that also can leak oil, but it's visible. Everything is visible when it comes to that. Let's see, Hobika Kashunovic. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay, I'm sorry if I didn't. If there any aftermarket cylinder head you can recommend for the 15, then it's cheaper than the OEM, or OEM is the only solution. Yes, there is aftermarket for the 15. I think I know a guy that sells that brand new ones. Let me see if I have the card here. I think I have it. Oh yeah, right here. This company. I wanna get it closer to you. This is the guy that sells closer here. You can see it. Let's see there. That guy sells in my area. He sells brand new cylinder heads. Sells DD15s, Cummins, and some other, and also overhaul kits. And yes, the cylinder heads are a little cheaper. They're like $2,000 cheaper than the OEM one. The OEM rebuilt cylinder head costs around like $6,000, 6,000 something. The brand new one, OEM, costs around $9,000, $10,000. The aftermarket costs around like 4,000, something like that. So it is way cheaper, right? So it might work. I already use one of those at least, and so far no problems. I don't know within 5 years from now, but it has been at least 6 months from that head to be installed on the truck, and there is no problem so far. So we'll see later how long it lasts. So if you want to see it again, here is the information again. So if you want to write it up, so you can contact this guy, and he might be able to help you on the pricing and everything. Just tell him then I, Francisco, will give you the information. He might be able to help you on that. And they have nationwide shipping, so they can ship the head to wherever you are. Let's see. Moderately nice. That's how I say it. I mean, yes. Okay. Hey Francisco, 2017 Cascadia Evo both January 21 and injectors have failed. For the fourth time now, and it seems like to happen during the summer. Is it that common in the 15? I mean, it's not common for DD15s to have broken injectors almost every 6 months. It's not common at all. My question to you will be, are you using OEM injectors? Are you using good quality injectors? Are you using rebuild injectors? That's the question. And also, is your truck deleted? How deleted, right? Because when a lot of people, when they go and do deletes to the trucks, they don't only delete the emission component, they also delete engine components, which means then the truck is not going to give you any fault at all, no faults at all, and the truck is going to work like there is no problem at all, but it's going to break stuff. Because you remember, if you have an electronic component, the computer is going to limit you on how much power, how much duty you can have in one engine, because the computer knows, hey, you know what, you're pushing your engine too much, let's drop the power a little so that way the engine doesn't break. But whenever you modify the computer, it's just going to leave the engine to work as, you know, a freelancer, right? There is nothing to limit it. So I'll say, just ask, give me that information. Maybe we can help you with that. So hopefully, it's just maybe the bad quality injectors, I would say. Maybe. If it's not, you have a serious problem that needs to be addressed, and for that, we need to go with the computer and check what is the problem, what is causing that issue, because that is not normal, to be honest. Say Gary, by turbo return line has a leak. Okay, Gary, if the turbo has a leak, but if the leak is just a small drop of oil, it's not going to consume 1 gallon every 1,000 miles. It's not going to do that. But if you have like maybe 5-6 drips within 5 seconds, it's possible. So just double check that. Okay. I cannot guarantee any type of suggestions I'm giving you, but what I can say is then it is something then you need to focus on how everything is working. To give you the best advice, the truck gotta be here with me to give you the best advice I can. Okay, let's say commercial guy pay me $10, which is a very thank you for you, commercial guy. And he says, thank you for doing these live streams. I mean, that's the reason why I'm here. And para cualquiera que hable español, me pueden preguntar las preguntas en español. Así yo les voy a decir lo que sea. No, lo que ustedes quieran que hable en español, por favor, díganlo. Y yo lo voy a hablar en español. Okay, commercial guy, thank you. I'm trying to help. And we are in an era, then we need help as much as we can, especially with how expensive. How you see the price of eggs? Eggs are $40 for 60 eggs. That is extremely expensive. I remember the days where eggs were like $7. 60 eggs were still $7. Now it's like $40, almost $1 per egg. That is crazy. So that's the reason why we need help, and that's the reason why I'm here trying to help you. We all can make money together, right? So let's see, let's go another one. Okay, Bonnie EC. Say, can the after treatment system function with minimal breakdown with a routine maintenance, or it is a lost cause? Yes, the after treatment can work with very low repairs, depending on the years, depending on the models. The newer trucks, they're more picky when it comes to repairs, but the older trucks are easier. If you talk about the original way, right? But if you are talking about like you wanna run your system with original components, but with the software that is not original, it is possible. You just need to find the right person to do it. That's all I'm going to say. Everything is possible as long as you have the right person to do the job. and you are not gonna break down the rod, and you're still gonna be consuming DEF and doing regions. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. I'm lost. I don't know what I want. Okay, our commercial guy is here. Okay, thank you. 2014. Okay, I have another guy. Then let me see who. Oh, Gary sent me $10. Thank you for $10. I appreciate it, and I'm trying to help as much as I can, and this helps me a lot. Thank you. Trying to answer the questions the best I can. I know for sure that I cannot give you the specific answer, but at least I can give you an idea of what I think. So thank you very much, and let's go back to commercial guy, which also gave me $10,000. I'll be happy if you give me $10,000. $10, okay. Commercial guy. Okay, 2014 we DD13 had no engine code, ABS light, and the red DF light blinking. The truck will start for 30 seconds, and then will start no codes. But it happened again the next day. It sounds like you have a problem with CPC. That's what it's called. The CPC is the computer that a lot of thieves were targeting. They were stealing the CPCs from the trucks. So CPC is a good component. I think that's the problem. So you should check it. Oh yeah, you have here. Okay, check the diffuser. I'm thinking it might be the CPC of the one. Yes, I mean CPC. I mean I can just replace the CPC. It might be. Sometimes it happens like that. I have seen similar problems like that. Then trucks start. The truck started one time and then you turn it off and doesn't start anymore, and then you start it back and the next day it starts. No problem. So another guy sent me $10. Oh, thank you. You guys have been very generous today. Bonnie, easy. Thank you. I'm trying to help. I mean, as I say, I'm like, okay. I really appreciate your support, and that's the reason why I'm trying to support you with the answers that you are looking for. And as I say, I'm trying to get the closest just by thinking. I don't have information of the problem, but I'm trying to give you the most accurate answer I can provide you at the moment. Let's see. UKR Timber says, I have a 2020 Cascadia and I have a knocking injector. How to understand what injector is broken? I have DDL. Okay, that's pretty easy. So you have a knocking injector. There is two ways, right? The first way, what you wanna do, you start the truck and you wanna hear the knocking. You go to cylinder cutoff and you start cutting every cylinder one by one to hear how the engine sounds. You might hear a small change on the knocking, and that might tell you what cylinder is. And if that doesn't work as expected, then I will think that the engine knocking happens in any cylinder, any temperature. So either the engine is cold or either the engine is hot. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna go to idle speed balance. In idle speed balance, what you're gonna do is run a test. And if you have a knocking on a specific cylinder, you are either gonna get red or yellow label. So 100 minus, depending on what is the issue. So either way, if you have a knocking for overfueling, you're most likely gonna get a minus 100 because the engine is trying to get fuel away from the truck because it's leaking too much. But if you have a knocking because a damaged component inside, you're gonna get a plus 100 because the engine is trying to compensate the loss of power. So that is how you're gonna determine what problem you have on your 2020 Cascadia. So I'm not sure what kind of knocking it is to identify or to tell you what is the issue, but that's the closest I can get to help you to find out that problem. Okay, commercial guy says 20 speed manual. That's pretty easy. If you have a 10 speed manual, you can buy any CPC. It requires, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you have a 2014 Cascadia, most likely with the 13, most likely you have the CPC 4. Um, and all you have to do is copy and paste information. You don't have to do a major programming, and that's pretty much all. But it's possible to do a programming without doing a major update to your CPC. And I also have another $10. I see now. Let's see. Oh, Vika, thank you, $10. I really appreciate it. I don't know. I mean, you guys are very generous with me today. I mean, usually I don't receive that much uh, contribution, so I really appreciate it. That encouraged me to help you more with more information. And the live videos are the best way to give the most answer possible. So if you wanna get the most answers RME directly without you being here in California, come to my live videos and you're gonna have the benefit to talk directly with me. Um, but remember, then if you don't have the truck here, I won't be able to give you specific answers. So you'll remember that. Okay, okay. Let's go and go back to those answers. Okay, 10 speed manuals. Okay, yeah, cool. Ricky Song say, what about running 1/4 of 8090 ABW90 gear oil in a Cummins IS-615? All mechanic told me is good for the engine. I mean, like if you get a okay, the the 80W90, that's a transmission fluid. It is not a thick. It's a synthetic transmission. So, but it's good for viscosity. So it's gonna increase the viscosity of the engine. So that's pretty much like adding glucose, right? Adding a gallon or half a gallon of a glucose into your engine. Kind of similar. The only difference then you have whenever you use gear oil instead of an engine oil is then the gear oil is not meant to have extreme temperatures like the engine does. The engine does vary on temperatures drastically, so that is the difference between the gear oil. The gear oil is more stable. It cools down faster, but also heats up harder too. Whenever a gear, a differential is overheating, it's gonna go all the way to 300 Fahrenheit, and that will melt any type of oil. So the gear oil is a little more thicker and better. So that's the reason why a lot of mechanics recommended to that, because it resists temperature better. But remember, then it's not an oil meant to work in an engine. So it might cause consequences in the future. So maybe not that serious, but impossible that it is. But I mean, like I don't see why not, right? There is good reasons why you should use W90 since it is better for temperatures, and that is the problem with engine oil. Then whenever the temperature reaches maximum, engine starts dissipating. So if you want to do it, I mean, I don't see why not. Just don't overfill it with that, because then your engine is gonna be destroyed. Say Hobika Forever says, thank you very much. Keep up your great work. Thank you. Yes, I'm trying. I'm trying to post as much videos as I can and trying to give you the most information possible about these trucks. Sometimes it's hard, but especially now, I barely have time to do things, being so busy. But I'm trying my best to find the time on how to work on things. Let's say NGB. Would you ever consider doing any specific courses or anything for the after treatment to overhauls or trainings, I should say? I consider that. I might think to do that kind of stuff, like to have a group of people and giving you my knowledge and my experience at some point. know everything, because not the experience I have is not specifically for all the problems. But it might help you in the long run. I'm thinking about it. I can't. If someone hires me to go somewhere to do training, I will. I mean, like, that's not a big deal. I can tell you how the system works the whole way, and how to know when it's broken immediately, just by seeing it, just by knowing the issue. But I'm not sure. I mean, I haven't get to that. I need probably support on that. Like, enough people that want to do that, and of course there is people all over USA that wants me to do that. But I mean, it's pretty hard to coordinate everything in one place. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how that can be accomplished. But maybe if someone, I can partner with someone and we can work together on that, maybe I can do something similar. Or maybe someone wants me to go to their company, to their shop or something, and try to give you the most information I can about it. We can talk about it, and we can get to a middle point on how everything is going to be when it comes to financial situations and when it comes to time, right? We can get the best deal. I think we can work something. I mean, everything is about money, but I think money is not the reason why I'm here. If money were the reason why I'm here, I would be asking you for more money. But I'm trying to help a lot of people. So, let's see. We have Pop Tarn, Gordon Trucking says, okay, I'm back, but I have got to get busy girl. That's good. Showing support, hugs, big hugs, everyone. That's good. That's good. And you say bye, y'all. Good night. Okay, you're gone. So, yeah, thank you for supporting the community here, and trying our best to support each other. And of course, everything within the topic, trucking, right? And that's the best way. I'm not sure. I mean, the next live video, I'm not sure what I want to talk about. So if you have now, then I'm doing a live video. Now you guys are here. So if you want me to talk something specific about specific, I mean, anything in general, you can just comment right now, and I will get the idea what the live video for Monday February is going to be, so we can get that going from now. Let's go down and let's see. Myron Slack. How often should you change the oil bypass filter on a DD15 2017? I think you talk about the crankcase separator, the oil separator, right? So usually the oil separator lasts around like 600, 700,000 miles. So, or depending on the age of the truck, the hours. So if you have a long hauler truck, yeah, 700, 600,000 miles will be okay. That's around like 3 years, 2 years. So it'll be okay. So just do that to prevent problems, because when the oil separator goes bad, it creates a lot of problems. So it might help you to do it before it fails. UKR Timber says, I have a 2020 with knocking injector. How do you know how did it go? I mean, I just already answered that question, if I remember. I just did. So if you didn't hear that, you can just go back on my video and you're gonna see the what I talk about that specifically. Let me see. I'm trying. Yeah, it's right here. So it's the same question. So just go back on the video and you're gonna find out. And I already explained how to do that, how to check that directly. But if you wonder if you can test injector by injector without computer, that's almost impossible. You can plug the injectors, yes, but you need a special plug for that. Don't use any plug, because that is high pressure fuel. So it might be some problems if you do it. Elder Ruiz, saludos. Gracias por reparar. Buenas reparaciones en los troques y gracias por mantenernos los precios justos. Sí, ahí estamos. Será toda la manera de siempre tratar los precios. En este tiempo, creo que mucha gente se aprovecha. Hace poco fui a recoger un camión en Arizona y cobraron como alrededor de $2,500 por nada. Lastimosamente, esa es la reputación que tienen los talleres en esas áreas, en todas las que es las carreteras interestatales. Reparaciones por nada. No entiendo por qué no quieren un buen nombre para que los clientes lleguen a sus reparaciones. Lastimosamente es la reputación y se tuvo que sacar el camión de ahí. No querían que nadie lo manejara en grúa. Fui, lo reparé, lo traje. Lo hice el mismo día. Ellos estuvieron en el camión por 4 días y no hicieron nada y cobraron todo el tiempo. Y por eso hago estos videos, porque entiendo lo que es. También entiendo lo que es trabajar en road service, porque yo lo hago de vez en cuando. Y lo hago para personas que conozco muy bien. Les ayudo en cómo ir a traer camiones que no los pueden hacer caminar. Me los traigo. Y aquí los reparo. Entonces, pero es algo muy complicado el día de hoy, especialmente en las carreteras. Ok, Iván Madrigal says gives as additive for diesel. And what do you think about principal power additive? Well, I mean, like when it comes to fuel additives, there is so much to talk about. A fuel additive is good, I would say. It cleans the system, but in some cases, the fuel additive can damage the system. Um, the reason why I'm saying that is because a fuel component works in the same way forever. So you put a new component and it starts to wear the same way, like, because that's the way it works. It doesn't go beyond that point, that rotation, that specific distance. So whenever you do a fuel additive, sometimes it happens then there is a specific amount of dirt, debris, then an injector or a pump has been pushing, and now it is part of the housing, and it works fine. But then when you put the injector cleaner, the injector cleaner is going to remove that because it's not metal. So it's going to remove it, and that's going to create problems. So if you don't have to use fuel additives, don't use them. If you need to use fuel additives, use them. So in the case you want to use fuel additives, what's the reason why you not use? If your fuel system is contaminated, good, use a fuel additive. But if your truck, your engine doesn't have any problems, probably you might have to stay away. Now, if you want to increase the horsepower with fuel, that's a different type of additive. That is not a cleaner. That's mostly a booster. So that will give you more power directly to the injection. That most likely is not going to mess with your injection, but may damage some other engine components because you are increasing the horsepower. Remember, the more load you put into an engine, the more pressure, the more fatigue, the more heat, and the more wear you want to get. Just remember that every time you do it. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but if I don't, just comment below. Let's say Richard 0713. It seems as if the 2020 and newer trucks are too problematic, too many mechanical emission problems, or too many mechanical emission. Okay, yes, true. From 2017 newer, the protocols of emissions are tighter. 21s are very hard to get out of D-rate states. So if you have a 2021 and the red light, the check engine light, the amber light, and the DEF light are all on, to get that state out, it might take a while. So you have to know what you have to do in order to get it out. I have I have trucks that came from different shops of different places over here. They tow it because they couldn't get it out of that derate mode. And for me, I had to spend one day, one solid day in one truck to get it out. And of course, you have to be sure it gets out by his own, right? Yeah, I can easily just do whatever to the computer to delete everything. I can do it. But eventually the truck will have the same problem. As soon as you leave, you're gonna have the same problem. And that's not something that I want. So I need to verify that the truck passes the test by itself. And once it passes the test by itself, it's not gonna give you the same fault. And that's the problem with a lot of mechanics. Because they don't wanna waste their time, they think that it's a waste of time doing all that. They just wanna like do whatever bypass, do whatever delete, swap this, swap that, just to delete that code and so you can leave. But as soon as you leave 200 miles, you get the same fault. And you pay for nothing. So that is something very hard to do. And a lot of mechanics are not being honest at some point. I mean, I don't blame them. They're all thinking about the money, which is the main sort of problems, right? Money. But, you have to think about the customers too. I mean, if you cannot help them, I mean, at least, don't charge them too much. Let's say, Ivan Madrigal, where is located your shop, Frank? My shop is located in Fontana. You can go to Google and type my name, Francisco Amaya, and it's going to appear. The address is 8215 Beach Avenue, Fontana. So either way, you can find me. We are open here Monday to Friday. Today we'll close. We are just open for the trucks that are in the shop already. So we are not receiving walk-in customers on Saturday, only Monday to Friday. Let's see, let's go down. Say UKR Timber says, thank you for the answer. It is knocking super loud and it stops after 15 seconds after start. Okay, so whenever it happens, Timber, you have to be ready to test it. So which means then you will have to load the software. You will have to have the computer connected completely and ready to test it out. Start the truck after you have everything connected, and then you're gonna try to test immediately, so that way you can determine. There's occasions then that happens like that. So yes, might be an injector, but you need to test it out as fast as you can. Otherwise, you will have to repeat every time, and it will take a lot of time to get the right answer. For me, it's pretty hard to know what the answer is because I don't have the truck here. But good luck with that. That's the best I can say. Iván Madrigal, Francisco, ¿dónde está locación de su shop address? And I just said, internet, Google, Francisco Amaya, y se me van a encontrar. Si no, pues la dirección 8215 Beach Avenue, Fontana, California. Ahí me pueden encontrar. Y algunas veces no estoy, así que posiblemente no me encuentren las veces que no estoy. Pero pues sí, nomás que casi siempre estoy ocupado. Cuando traigan camiones, traigan tiempo. Si son problemas pequeños o quieren un diagnóstico, lo puedo hacer a veces un poco lento. Pero si son problemas de reparaciones que necesitan tiempo, traigan su tiempo para poder ponerlos en la fila de camiones. Dado que hay muchos camiones que requieren reparación y dependiendo cómo sea el tiempo, podemos meterlo lo más rápido posible. Ivan Madrigal, you can do a virtual class. Yes, I can do a virtual class. But I mean, I need to support. That's what I need. I mean, like if I do a virtual class and all of a sudden only one people shows up, I mean, like I don't want to turn that people down. I mean, that person down. I just gonna continue, but still, like I feel like why I'm doing this? I'm wasting my time, right? So mostly I think that is what I need, the support, enough support to do that type of stuff. But yes, it is a good idea. Um, um, yeah, you're helping me. My wife is helping me to all of you to know what is my information, so that's good. Okay, Richard 0713, you have helped me out so much, Francisco. Thanks. Thank you very much for that, and I'm trying to continue helping. See, I mean, there is no such thing as a limit. There is always more to do. So, trying to help as much as I can, and well, I mean, like, there is more to do. I mean, trucks are just getting newer every time. So, for that, I mean, we need someone like me to give you information to make it easier, or at least to guide you or repair it for you, depending on the circumstances. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Luis Martínez. Francisco, buenas tardes. ¿Qué medida es el dado para cambiar el sello de la rueda de transmisión del lado de la flecha? Ah, gracias. Está hablando el sello de atrás, donde se agarra el joint, la cruceta, ¿verdad? La parte de atrás, esa, si no me equivoco, la tuerca grande que agarra eso, me parece que es 2 3/4. Creo que es 2 3/4. Me recuerdo, sí, esa es 2 3/4. La de en medio, la de el center bearing es una 5/8 y las diferenciales varían mucho. Hay muchos diferentes números. Así que 2 3/4, esa es la medida, si no me equivoco. Pero voy a confirmarlo. Vamos, 2 3/4 transmission socket. Solo para estar seguro. Yo estoy más que seguro que esa es el socket. Sí, ajá. Ese es exactamente. Sí, que sea de 6 puntos. Que no sea de 12 puntos porque se quiebra. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have another $10. Say, Camion King? Camion King. Oh, okay, Camion King. That's it. Thank you for the $10 for the $10. Your videos helped me a lot through these years. Thank you very much. I appreciate your support. I really like then you guys are providing support to me. Makes me feel a little more appreciated, and makes me feel more grateful to give you more as information. You know, as I say, trying to do my best, and this is not going to stop. There is more trucks, there is more things to do, there's newer trucks and everything. So I just going to give you newer information, and there is older trucks that have problems too, and I still gonna give you information about older trucks. So we are together on this. So I'm trying to help you, and thank you for helping me. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Say moderately nice. I don't know how to pronounce that, to be honest. Francisco, when the injector freeze failed, the dealer replaced all 6. The second time, the overfueling the injectors saturated the DPF. The dealer said then the one to replace the one box. That's when I had to get delete. Okay. It's kind of weird. Maybe there is a problem. Maybe it's a coincidence because yes, the injector failed and all of a sudden they start leaking fuel like crazy. It has happened to me. Then I have installed brand new injectors and all of a sudden, boom, start leaking one injector. But in some cases, it's just better to replace them all, but it's very expensive. And to know which injector is bad, you need to do a lot of stuff. But if so bad that happened to you, might be the case then you have a problem with not a problem. The injector problem thing just happened, or maybe it's over pressurizing the system. But if the pressure is just going over the limit, you will get a fault code immediately. So I'm not sure. It might look like it's a coincidence, I would say. Let's see. Ivan Madrigal says, thanks, gracias, bro. God bless. Ivan Madrigal says, Crystal Hassel, thank you. Thank you for thanking my wife. And I got another $10. Ivan Madrigal, thank you. Thank you, Ivan Madrigal. I really appreciate it. Oh man, you guys are making me feel very appreciated. What? Commercial guy, you give me $50. Oh man, that is so amazing. I really appreciate your support. Yeah, thank you again. I agree with the other ones. Your videos have saved me in the past. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate and you really went all this way to help me out. Thank you for the support. Um, I'm I'm telling you, I'm trying to do my best to continue helping you out. For the ones that don't cannot come to my shop, yeah, I can give you this as best. The best way to communicate with me will be live videos. You can talk directly with me, and if you come over, yes, I can help you. Sometimes I am not specific. I might delay it, and sometimes I might take time to repair your truck. But I will get to the bottom line on what is the problem, or at least I'm gonna give you the best of me if I cannot find the problem. So, let's see. Luis Martinez, gracias por su ayuda. Muchas gracias. Commercial Guy 2014 transmission ball keeps on coming loose, and some went missing. Mechanic says retort twice in the past several months. Commercial Guy, do I have to replace the flywheel housing cover? Or can it be repaired with timing inserts? Oh, okay. Insert, yes. The helicals, yes. Does the engine have to come out to replace the flywheel housing cover? No, 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 no. That's not necessary. You can do it, but it's pretty hard. You have to drop the transmission and everything, and then you can remove the flywheel cover. Not necessarily the timing needs to be removed, not necessarily. So you can do it if you want to, but it's not a mandatory thing to do. The yes, the inserts can be fixed with a helical. So I think that's what you're talking about, the bolts of the transmission. Those are 5/8 insides on the head. It can be repaired with helicals, but it is not the best idea, the best thing to do, because remember, the transmission is heavy and the transmission doesn't have a rear support. The transmission is hanging with the engine, so it's supported by the housing, and the gravity is pushing a lot of weight in it, and also you have torque. Every time you get first gear, transmission housing is moving left and right. That can create problems. So if you don't have a good fastener the ball is going to, get out because the helicoil usually is not strong enough. Now, what you can use is a ball insert. That is something that can work. The insert is a stronger version of the helicoil, but it requires a little more work. Might be the case that you won't be able to do it yourself. The helicoil is something that you can do it yourself, but the insert might be not, because the insert is a little barrel, then you have to insert inside, which means then you have to drill in a specific position, and that will, give you the thread as original, and also will, save the housing. It is possible to do it, but just remember, then it's going to be maybe a little more expensive and maybe more time consuming because it's going to take more time to get it prepared. So, but yeah, it's possible to repair it. But if you can get a used housing, maybe it's gonna be faster. A used housing will solve that problem almost immediately, and especially then it's not broken. If it's broken, I mean, it's just gonna be the same. Let's say, that talk kit, that tone kit, 129. That, oh no, that one kit, that's what it says. I'm reading wrong. Ok, una escuela que usted recomiende para aprender a trabajar en los motores de camión. Ahorita trabajo más como como un PM, como un Preventive Maintenance. Saludos desde Berkeley, California. I mean, UTI, y si quieren un certificado, UTI, y otra escuela, si quieren el papel que diga que fueron a la escuela, eso les ayuda a poder entrar a lugares como Freilander, Volvo, Peterbilt, dealers grandes. Pero los costos de esos cursos son caros. Dependiendo del curso, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 80,000, arriba de ese costo. Lo cual es bastante caro. Yo por lo general, si ustedes quieren tener certificados como todos esos, algunos de todos esos son gratis. No necesitan ni pagar algunos de todos esos. Y se certifican. No necesitan tener una gran experiencia. Pueden meterse a internet. Pueden buscar las clases de Henriksen. Pueden buscar las clases de Keep Master con clutch, fan clutches. Pueden ir a los cursos de la Asociación de Mecánicos, no sé, no me recuerdo cómo se llama, y ahí pueden sacar diferentes cursos, diferentes diplomas. Algunos son más caros que otros, otros son gratis y otros no tienen no se pueden agarrar baratos, tienen un precio específico. Y de esa manera pueden agarrar cursos si no quieren irse a lo que es UTI. UTI es bueno, pero solo si ustedes son buenos. Si el mecánico, el estudiante es bueno, UTI es bueno. Pero si el estudiante no es bueno, es un desperdicio de dinero. Yo lo he visto en muchas ocasiones, mecánicos que salen de UTI, desperdicio de dinero completo. Pero es porque el estudiante tampoco pone de su parte. La escuela no es la escuela es el estudiante hace la escuela. Ok, Jovica Forever says, hey Francisco, this guy, Camion King, is the biggest Baba trucker on YouTube. What? He a YouTuber? Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's see. I mean, I don't have how you say it, like I don't mind helping anyone. Doesn't matter who they are. So I just wanna help them regardless of what they are. I mean, like that's not a problem for me. So my computer is freezing right now. But or computer. Let's see. Oh yeah, Camion King. Hey, I didn't know you have YouTube. Hey, you do have YouTube. I'm looking at you. Well, that's good. You have a bunch of subscribers, just even more than I. Hmm, nice. Well, that's good, and you're telling me that I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. I have my percent more respect to you, to be honest. Um, Camionero King, Camion King in this case. I don't know why I keep on saying Camionero King because I feel then that's something coming to my mind. Interesting, something that I never expected, to be honest, but very interesting. Thank you for letting me know. Um, well, I mean, like, thank you for, I mean, you as a YouTuber, Camion King. I mean, seeing my videos makes me feel more special. And thank you, Jovika, for letting me know. Then that was the thing. I didn't know, to be honest. That's something very special. Then I have more than just love for, I mean, love people that love me, just regular, I mean, drivers and truck owners. I mean, also have YouTubers that love me. That's good. I really appreciate that. Um, well, I spent already, let's say, 74 minutes, which is 1 hour and 16 minutes. 16 minutes talking to you guys. Do you guys have any other questions? Anything else that you want to add before this video goes by? So you still have some time. So if you have anything else to add, I will answer a question since I don't have any other questions right now. And if you don't, well, I assume that you don't have any. So wait, I have something. Okay, I'm gonna wait. But anyway, I mean, like, it is so interesting how the trucking industry changed. Since 2015, it's 10 years now, and the trucking industry is completely different 10 years ago. And even more, 15 years ago, 2010. I remember the days when I had to work on EPA 07, which is 2010 Cascadias, with region problems, DPF only. They gave me hard time. And they were so hard to repair at the time because I didn't have much experience, I would say, at the time about DPF specifically. They were brand new trucks and brand new system, we can say, very hard to get it going. Now, I mean, it's pretty easy to solve those problems. It's pretty easy to do many things to those engines, to those older trucks. But time has changed so much. Okay, I build the best truck EPUs. I want to show you. Yeah, true. Oh, so you sell EPUs? That's what it says. Okay, that's interesting. A lot of people is interested on EPUs, to be honest, especially now fuel prices. That's a very good topic. Iván Madrigal, D13 Volvo VNL injector cap job, approximately price and time. That is an expensive one. Might take around like 1 day, 2 days straight for a mechanic not to move from there. And the price, depending on the components to replace, I would say if you replace, just hear me out on this one. If you replace just the valve cover gasket on a Volvo, Just one valve cover gasket, which you usually have two, that one costs $600 each. That is expensive, which means that just that is going to give you a total of $1,200. Even if you go aftermarket route, you still gotta pay around $250, which is gonna give you a total of $500 just with the gaskets. And most likely, whenever you do a job like that, you are going to replace the gasket. I have no idea why the parts of Volvos are so expensive. So most likely, if you do a proper job on a Volvo to do injector cup replacement, most likely you wanna be looking to spend between $3,000 all the way to $5,000, depending on the components you replace and the labor. A little expensive, more expensive than any other truck. Not sure why Volvo is so expensive, but that's the way it is, right? The prices are not something that are subject to any changes, I would say, but they change it anyway because it's more expensive to make it. And I'm not sure, I have no idea why some gaskets on Volvo are more expensive than a full overhaul gasket kit, which is the cylinder head for a DD15. So, no idea why. Very expensive. So if you have to do that when you for your truck, good luck with that. It's gonna be very expensive. But yeah, it's gonna take around like 2 days, most max. I don't think it's gonna take more than that. If it takes more than that, if the fuel is contaminated big time, it's gonna take more than that for sure. I'll agree with that. But if the fuel is not contaminated, I mean the coolant. I'm sorry, the coolant is contaminated. It's just gonna be easy replace and drain the coolant probably, or maybe just add water one time and then drain the water and then add coolant, and that will be problem solved. Okay, all right. So no more questions. If there is no more questions, I am out. I am out. So it's been a while now. So you say Ivan Madrigal say that what I think about buying the full set. Oh, you talk about the full set. You talk about the full set of caps and everything completely, and the injectors and everything. It's gonna be very expensive if you buy all that. It's gonna be at almost the $10,000. You buy every single thing: injectors, caps, seals, harnesses. A very expensive repair. Let's see. Hayden says, will you be interested in installing APUs to drivers in your area like dealer? I will need to see. You can email me. You can find my email and I will need to see. I just need to see how deep the installation is and how time consuming it is and what is the cost and profit and everything. Maybe, right? Need to see that. Maybe not. Maybe yes. We can talk. Once we talk, we wanna know more about it. Just email me and we can talk about it. Ivan Madrigal says, thanks, Frank. God bless you, bro. A commercial guy said, last question. My ABS light comes on when it rains. The steering wheel pulls hard and to the right when apply the brake firmly. After a day of driving is gone, what can be the cause? Maybe the brakes are bad if the steering wheel pulls to the one side. Because like brakes, if they have a very strong grip, they're going to lock up, and when they lock up, you are going to go to the left, go to the right. And the ABS may be the sensor too, the speed sensor, but it depends on what fault you have with the ABS. The ABS means 1000 volts, right? The light on. So what is the specific fault? That is the question. So might be the case then you have a bad sensor on that specific wheel, or may be the case then when the wheel sensor goes bad, water like distortions the signal of the sensor, and then the computer breaks the brake on the right, you say, harder, because the ABS is sending signal that is not right. So it might be the case. So, but for that, you need to put the computer on and see what sensor is causing the ABS to stay on. Say Richard Host 713, is there such thing as a coolant leak during winter, freezing temperatures? Yes. I mean, like for some reason, coolant leaks when the engine is very cold. Remember, metal, like expansion, right? Contraction, everything. So, when metal like moves, like it shrinks or expands, it tends to leak, especially with rubber hoses. They are not meant to be that flexible as metal. I mean, when it comes to temperatures, mostly. And that happens. Water pumps, they start leaking when it's pretty cold. So it usually happens and you go to your truck and all of a sudden, boom, start leaking. Start your truck, warm it up, and the leak is gone because it's warm. So yeah, it is very, very common. I have sometimes trucks over here then are parked overnight, and they are here for one injector, we can say. And when I get back from home to the shop, they have a big leak of coolant on the floor because it was leaking overnight because of the cold temperatures. Very common. If the temperature is colder, it will leak even more. Say, hey, that sounds good. I will email you and tell you the deal with my APU. Okay, yeah, sure. Just email me. I have the information on my channel, or you can go Instagram, or the email is going to be Francisco D. Amaj gmail.com at gmail.com. So you can do that too, but I have all the information there. Okay, so commercial guy thank you again. So all right, thank you. All right, so I think I'm done with the live video. I help you and you help me, and thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Oh, we have someone from Chile. Saludos desde Chile. Me encantan tus tutoriales. Muchas gracias desde Chile. Estamos internacionalmente hablando. Casi al final de este continente americano en Chile. Thank you, Francisco, so much. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the help you guys have provided me. So, I mean, I will try to help as much as I can. As it is, basically, I'm done with this live video. We have almost 1 hour and 30 minutes. Next live video, not sure what will be the topic, but next live video, I want to give you the ability to choose what you want me to talk about. Within couple days, weeks, you want to find on my community page a survey on what video you want me to talk about. So you let me know what video you want me to talk about. I want to leave different topics, 4 topics in general, and that video is going to be specifically for the topic then you guys are going to select. Remember, then, for that next video, I am not the one choosing, it is you guys. So If you want to talk about, if you want me to talk about something that you want me to talk about, you can leave comments on that specific page, on that specific community page, and I might redo it for the next live video, and I will label up. I will label it up, and you guys can vote for that. I'll give you the opportunity to select what you want me to talk, and with that, I am giving you the ability to get closer to me and closer to what you want. So with this, I give this video an end. And remember, then there's more live videos coming for these 12 months. I mean, this is the first one, so 11 months. So, and all the live videos that are going to come are going to be different. They're not about the same topic. So be ready for that. Be ready to vote. And I will give you the best information possible. And Richard 0713 says, yes. Doesn't stop after the truck continues on running. Thanks again, Francisco. Yes, I mean, that is how it goes. So solving problems is not easy. It's easier to get the solutions than getting to the solution. And give you the best I can and the most I can't. I won't give you everything, to be honest, but I'll give you what I think is going to be more than enough to help you on the journey to continue in this trucking industry. But the best information, the most information, always going to be live videos. You want the best information, come to the live videos, and I give you a straight answer. On comments, it's always going to be limited. All right, so thank you so much, and thank you for the support. Thank you for all of you that helped me to raise $109. Very impressive. Never I had that amount in my live video. So this is a good start for 2025. I really appreciate it for the support, and you guys showed me that support in the form of dollars, which is important too. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you next live video. Prepare your questions if you have any, or if you have any problems. Next live video will be the best to reach me out on that directly, you know. Okay, so now I'll give this video termination, and let me cut this off. Okay, bye. See you later. Yes, I'm leaving.